Hello YouTube, my name is Rafli and today I would like to discuss movie of all the time in this decade, which is a very great with a great actor. And the first movie that I want to discuss, I would like to discuss the Joker movie. The Joker movie was published on October 4, 2019 and directed by Todd Phillips, who already give their best performance on The Hangover and A Star is Born, which is a Lady Gaga is playing there. And the starring of the Joaquin Phoenix, who played the Gladiator on 2000, and a very great performance. And the Joker is the published by DC movie, and the Joker, the original Joker movie, it's all about the enemy of the Batman. And this movie is not to talk about the Batman. There's no Batman in this movie at all. But the Joker is discussed about the reality of nowadays. The reality of nowadays is a very cruel and chaos. And the Joaquin Phoenix is playing as the Arthur Fleck, the someone who already have a mental illness since he was a child. And this movie discusses about the bully and the discriminate with the people who have a problem with the mental illness. And Arthur Fleck is the one who with a disease who make him laugh at the time that he don't want to laugh. And this disease was been playing by the people who not responsibility for this. And the Arthur Fleck is a very depressed person because nobody wants to accept him as a human. And there's a one tragedy that happened in the life of Joaquin Phoenix as the Arthur Fleck, and he become an evil and become a very popular enemy of the Batman itself. And the comic is was released on 1975, The Joker. And also this movie have been nominated for a lot of prestigious award in America. It's like a BAFTA from England, and the most important is from a global award and for the best movie at the Oscar. Okay, after we are discussed about the action movies, and now we are move on to The Conjuring, which is the horror movie genre. And The Conjuring itself was published on July 26 on 2013 and directed by James Wan and starring Patrick Wilson. James Wan is the most popular director on movies, which is the horror movie. And James Wan have been directed Saw movie and have been directed Aquaman on 2018. It's a very impressive and the great actor also Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson also become the main character on The Watchmen on 2008. And Patrick Wilson also with Vera Farmiga is playing role as Ed and Lauren Warren, which is the most famous paranormal at that time. This movie is setting on 1967, which is a very long time, and this movie already discussed a lot of horror scene movie, which is The Nun is also involved in there, Annabelle, and every movie is connect with The Conjuring. The Conjuring have been already 2 movies that have been released by also James Wan too, and Patrick Wilson also still starring at this movie. And this movie is a very cool movie because they are the direct with a very smart and the James Wan direct is very clear. They are using the horror paranoid movies by the direct to a large wide, so the the audience will terrify when the scare the scare scene happening in this movie. And this movie start with the Caroline and the Roger Perrin with their family, parent family, which is moved into their farmhouse near the Nashville, and they are already feel the heat on that place because there's a very they feel that they're in this place they're haunted movie. Oh my evil creature, it's already not already stay in that place, and the few days they are in there, there's a lot of paranormal activities happening there. So they are called Ed and Laura Warren, who play by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. They are come to their house to solve this problem, and finally this is the based on the true story. They are failed at the first time, and the Warren family also get a very this evil creature that's also living there. But finally, Ed and Lauren have been finished the mission and saved the parent family. And this movie is a very much. There are Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, with a spin-off of Annabelle and the Nun. And this movie is a very high grossing on the box office at 2013 and have been reached the highest position on one. In this movie, defeated a lot of famous movie too. Okay, next, we would like to discuss The Fault in Our Star. We are already discussed about the crime, thriller, and action movie, which is The Joker. We are already discussed about the horror movie, which is The Conjuring, directed by James Wan. And now, the last but not least, is The Fault in Our Stars. This movie is a very famous one, and also give a very good moral value in this movie. And this movie was published on August 22, 2014, and directed by Joss Bone, and starring by Shailene Woodley, who has been famous on the Divergent series. And also the author of this novel is John Green. As you also can see the John Green book, there's a lot of John Green book is a very famous one. And this movie is taken place by two person who fall in love with each other, and the both of this the both of this partner are broke because the both of them also have a disease, but the different disease, and the man also don't have a leg, one leg, which is the one leg has been amputated by the doctor because of this disease, and also the girl also have a disease too. And this movie is have many motivational message in that, because as we can see, the Shailene Woodley already give her best performance in this movie to become a diseased girl, which is accept the man without any condition or unconditionally. And also Shailene Woodley is to play as Hazel Grace, like I said before. Also have a cancer theory, and the man who is played by Ansel Elgort, which is playing the man who have cancer too, the bones cancer, which is have a problem with that disease, which is Hazel Grace should bring the medicine everywhere he go as she go. And the girl which is Hazel Grace, is inspired by novel that have been made it by Peter Van Houten, which is played by William Defoe, which is very very famous on Spider-Man, which is become a Green Goblin in that movie. And the Peter Van Houten is making a book which is the name of an imperial affliction, and the girl and the book is discussed about the girl who have a disease like the same disease who have been suffered by Hazel Grace, which is played by Sarah Woodley, and by that disease, and the girl is very inspired with this novel, and she really want to meet the author, which is the Peter Van Houten, and they immediately got an invitation for email that have been Hazel Grace sent to the Peter Van Houten, and Peter Van Houten is inviting them to come to their country, and Hazel Grace come with the man who have been also have a same disease to go to the Holland. And when they arrive at Holland, the reality is very disappointing because Peter Peter Van Houten is not like they are imagined. The Peter Van Houten is a very very different from the comic, from the novel. He's a very different person in the reality. So at the end of the story, it have a very very sad ending. But I don't want to spoil it to you, and you should watching by yourself. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Just click a subscribe button, click like, and I'm very happy that you see my video. And my name is Rafli, and see you on the next video. Bye.